Hi guys, this is Oshi and this is going to be my This Happened August video. And unfortunately, even though I'm doing these videos for 8 months now, I'm still not prepared enough. So I always make a promise to myself that when things are happening, I'm gonna make a note to talk about them in these videos, and then I never do that, and I always forget what happened in the month. So I just went through things quickly in my head, so probably I'm gonna leave something out, but these are anyway more of, keeping records to see what was important enough to remember, I guess, and maybe sharing you a few new things that I have that you might enjoy, for example, a few new decks. But August was, in a way, a very long one, and in a way, a very short one. I had my week off, my official summer holiday, in the middle of it, and obviously I thought that I'm gonna just do daily free readings on YouTube every day because I will have time. And then I barely had time to do the one that was actually scheduled, because when you go into vacation and you want to do a lot of things, usually you end up just not being able to do anything. And for me, one of the things that delayed me or prevented me from doing anything was a health issue that I obviously started with my, holiday with. So, because I think I was overworked in a very, very just, like not entirely physical. I think it was more emotional and mental way. And I'm not saying that I'm not counting back the days when I will have a few days off again, but before that 1 week it was really, really just getting to me. So it's how it's usually is. I think it's for most of us that as soon as your body doesn't have to push through because you don't have to get up to work, it's just like, oh, okay, I'm finally throwing in the towel, and then I get sick. So I took a few, I took out of the 9, because I had 4 days that I took officially off, but it was a week where one was a national bank holiday, a Friday, so I had that extra day, and then the weekend, the weekend on that week and the weekend previously, so I had 9 days altogether, which was really nice. And so I spent pretty much 4 days out of it immediately starting to not being able to do anything, though I managed to catch up on things still very nicely, which was good. And so that was pretty much the highlight in that way for the month, which sucks. Other thing that was really influential in a way was that one of my sister, I think I talked about this previously, but if I didn't, one of my sister works in Kuwait as a teacher, and she had some troubles with documentation regarding to vaccines and being vaccinated, because she got her shot in Kuwait, the first one in Kuwait, and then because she was told that she can get the second one in Hungary, so she came home, she got the second, everything seems fine, and then she had to submit papers regarding to that, and then the whole system that the country used was just not able to handle all that. So a lot of people were really stressed out a week prior that they had to travel back because they didn't have the official cleared status to enter the country. So that was really fun, because we knew that everything that she had to do was done. All her paper, by the way, was in order. So it's not like we were trying to cheat anything. It's just that because different countries use different forms. I don't know why. Please, someone explain to me why isn't there just one official form that everybody can recognize as a official one? There was a lot of talking to people and a lot of running around and trying different things to upload and different ways to upload them. So yeah, that was really, really stressful. And then she went back, which sucks always. and hope, but this time she were able to come home after a year and a half. So it was nice that she was able to come home, but it was really stressful because we didn't know if she can go back. So if things will be the same around December, who the hell knows if she can actually come back. I mean, her school is very supportive of everybody being able to go home, because there's a lot of people who come from a lot of countries, and I think it's an American school. They want to go home as well for the holidays. But if things get worse, who knows? So I'm hopeful it won't get worse, but you just never know. So that kind of sucks. But it's part of our lives, because yeah, she works there. That was one thing, or two things in one. Other thing, I made notes obviously, because like I said, I can't remember. One other fun thing that happened recently was that I was on Simon's channel again, the Hermit's Cave. I think you know that, but if you don't, I'm gonna link that live down below. And it was quite interesting because I had my first live on his channel, and that was a completely different experience, because even though I was in the comments before, I wasn't in front of the camera in lives, and that's a whole different feeling, to be honest, because making these videos, I'm kind of talking to you guys, I guess, here. And because I know I'm in a privileged position where I know that some people will watch these videos. But with lives, especially on someone else's channel, you never know if people will be interested in what you have to say. And not necessarily because there's anything wrong with what you say or who's watching the videos. It's just how things work. But so the first time I was quite nervous. I know I was like, because I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know if my internet connection was good enough, and stuff like that. But this time, I mean, I guess it's easy to dive into deep topics, because we went into the deep topics obviously immediately, because why not? But I guess for me it's much easier to talk about these things when I'm in a place, or when I'm between or amongst people who I know would understand that when I want to talk about these issues, I don't want them to feel sorry for me, or I don't want them to feel bad because maybe they didn't go through something like that. Because what I went through was quite, I'm not saying no one ever went through something like that, I'm not saying that, but in my immediate whatever it's called, what is it called, amongst the people that I know, let's just go with that, not a lot went through something as life-changing as I did. And I ran into that with friends previously, where I wanted to talk about these things because, they are obviously very influential of my life. But I was told that it makes the other person feel like, I don't even know how they worded it, but like like my horse is high, and then I think that I'm this wise, someone who just preaches about things and who knows everything, how everything should be, and I want to tell them how they're supposed to do things. And it's just really not really. It's just when you go through something, that when you learn something fundamental, for me fundamental, you want to share that, because you want to share the lesson so that other people don't have to go through the shit that you went to go through. So it was kind of when that conversation happened in a few years prior, that was kind of disheartening for me, because it just showed how misunderstood the whole thing was, because I really didn't talk about me being sick because I wanted to be recognized as someone special or someone, I don't know, I don't even know, because I'm not. But it's part of my life, a big part of my life. And even though I don't really like to talk about it because it's not happening anymore, but especially when I started to get better, people always shifted in a way or changed how they treated me, because once they know that you have these issues and you were sick, and they start to look at you as a sick person, someone who is that illness. And I hated that, because you're freaking much more than a sickness or an illness that you're dealing with. But when your illness is so visible, and mine was a lot more visible. The plane is back. Sorry, I know it's a very deep topic, but there's an airplane. I mean, yeah, I think I said it earlier that I want to get a license to be able to pilot such a plane at some point. So I mean, I know it costs a lot of money, but it's not that bad. But I'm not sure, my health would allow it. But there's a plane today here, because we have a smaller airfield nearby. So people, just take off and start flying, and it's flying much lower than usual. So what I was saying before the interruption is, I think that, what was I saying? Anyway, the whole thing, what I meant to say was, and then I, went offside, because, what's the point talking to, staying on point is just not me. Is that I know I'm comfortable speaking about heavy topics, because I know that even if people in the audience, in the chat, didn't go through something so heavy, even though most of you did, I think that's why we're all in this spiritual community, because we went through shitty and hard experiences, and we needed something to deal with it. And that's a very big part how you can cope with things, if you have spirituality as a tool, if you want to look at it like that. And so that makes it easier for me to talk about it, because I don't have to tiptoe around being honest as much as I should, or I would be, I guess, in real life with people that I don't know if, they know what I want to say. So it was fun in that way, aspect, that, I felt much more comfortable. I think the conversation was really nice. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say. And the plane, if the plane comes back, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be happy about it. So next one, Tarot Adventure. We are approaching and advancing the story. And if you don't know what that is, me and Jax from Tarot Tales are doing. I think we're doing it 3 weeks now, because 2 weeks was a bit too much for me, and 1 month is too long between the episodes. So we're trying to aim for 3 weeks, but if life happens, we're skipping a week. And it's pretty much Dungeons and Dragons sort of a game with tarot cards. And, you have a character, and we pull cards together relating to questions that may come up to the story. And we have monsters, and I was ready to slay some monsters in the previous one, but the cards were like, no, you need to get up, get a plan first. I was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, we're having fun there, and I just really enjoy what we have there, and the people who come by regularly, because anybody can join any time, and you can just come and play for just one episode. But it's fun when people come back, because they know what the story is all already about, so it's less time spending with explaining. But I would really like to do something like that one day in person with other people, because I think that would be really cool. But we will see. I mean, hopefully that will happen. Also, channel anniversary. Yeah, I had my first year channel anniversary in August, which is quite mind blowing in a way because wow, where did time go? And I had a really nice stream about it. I set it up as a Q&A because at first I was like, okay, I should do something special, but I didn't really had any idea what to do that would connect to the channel in a way that it's not boring maybe. So I was thinking that this could be a chance for other people to ask me questions because you know a lot about me, but there's obviously everyday mundane things, maybe, or even deeper questions that you don't know about me that you may be wondering. And by the way, you can always ask about anything. If it's not something that I don't want to talk about, I will, answer the question. And I was kind of nervous, that people wouldn't have questions or they just, I don't even know. I wasn't afraid that people wouldn't come because there's lovely people who join those lives now. So at least I wasn't nervous about that. But I kind of rushed through the first hour because I was like, oh, okay, I need to answer the questions. But the questions were quite good and versatile, which was fun. So I was very grateful for everybody who came by and celebrated because it's kind of, for me, it's kind of like a big achievement that I stuck with doing videos for over a year now. And even though I like doing them, I'm having fun doing, these videos. Sometimes I went through obviously periods where there were only the previously scheduled videos going up because I was just too exhausted or too depressed or too whatever to post other stuff. That's why, sometimes I only have 2 videos a week, the Monday well-being reading and the walkthrough that goes up on Wednesday. Sometimes there's like a lot of videos because it really depends on what mood I'm in. So that was fun. And connecting to that, I started doing these short videos where James, my skull, which he's over there, is giving you advice on a daily basis. And I checked, and it's supposed to be only come up to people who are watching short videos. So I hopefully it's not annoying for those who are not too annoying, even though these are shorts. So hopefully it doesn't look like a spam. But I really like those because I enjoy making them, and I enjoy trying to convey the cards, the message, what comes through relating to that in a shorter form, because it's just a few sentences that can be on screen because no one has the time to reread, whole novels. So that's also fun. I also switched with my weekly readings as a bibliomancy type of reading. I'm doing that for a few weeks now, and I think I'm going to keep that because I have a really nice children's fairy tale book with short stories and poems and some illustrations. So, just selecting the page and reading the cards in light of what I find on the page, because those are always altering the meaning of the card, or not altering it, they are making it more specific. I find that it's a very good way to put the weekly readings together, so I'm very much enjoying that. And it's, if you want to do something like that, for weekly readings, pick cards or whatever, I think it's helpful because it gives you a structure to work with, so you don't have to always think about, okay, what am I supposed to, because not what am I supposed to do, because not supposed to do anything. But I kind of struggled with weekly readings in a way that I was always like, okay, I need to come up with something new, so it's not as it's not the same as the previous one was, but with bibliomancy it's not the same because I have all these stories and just the format stays. So I don't know, for me it works. So just, if you want to try that. Before I'm talking about the new decks, because that's going to be the last thing that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna put my notes away. I read, finally managed to read Troubled Blood from Robert Galbraith, I think that's how you say the name, which is J.K. Rowling's pseudonym. And this is her crime series, which I really enjoy. And this one was a longer one, so it took me some time, and it was very interesting. Not just the story, because the story itself is about a cold case, and without spoiling too much, hopefully. But if you haven't read it and you don't want to hear anything about it, then just look for the next timestamp and look for the new card's timestamp, and then you're not gonna hear anything. But if you don't mind that, there are astrological elements in the case, and it was so weird reading about tarot, because not just astrological but occult elements, and there was Crowley and the Thoth heavily mentioned, and there were some readings in the story which I couldn't really check if how accurate they were, because I don't know the Thoth. So when they referenced the cards, I was like, I don't know them. If it would have been an RWS system, then I would have been like, are you saying what I would say? So that was kind of interesting. But the other thing was that I read the Fog of Air story. I think it's a trilogy, yeah, which I may or may not, bought the first book already, and because I have to. But that was a very fae-centered story, and a fae in a way that how I believe the fae is, cruel and beautiful. But I kind of wanted to take a break after that, because there are other books that I want to read from the same author and in the same realm. But I was like, okay, but I need to take a break, so I'm gonna read Troubled Blood. And when I first opened the book, I had to double check that I opened the correct one, because how this book is structured is, there's a quote from The Fairy Queen by Edmund Spenser in every chapter. That's how it starts. And I was like, I was like, did I open the correct book? Why is there a fairy queen in my story? So I was like, okay, I get it. So there was a gentle reminder that no, you're not supposed to read. I mean, I still read the book, but we don't want you to forget about us. I kind of get that message with it, because I really set that intention that I'm gonna take a break from fae, because I'm kind of worried in a way that if I start going down that road, it's gonna suck me in and gonna pull me into something that I'm not sure what it is, and if I kind of feel like it's going to turn things around, and I feel the pull to do that, but I'm a bit wary as well. So I was like, okay, let's take a break. And then the books or the story and the fae was like, no, you're not supposed to take a break. So that was quite interesting, because I talked about, I think in my previous monthly video, that I didn't experience anything working with a deity. That's why I'm not working with a deity or a god or goddess, because I didn't experience anything where I felt like I was called to work with anyone or anything. And then the fae were like, and ever since that, I'm experiencing synchronicities and things like that. When you want to take a break from fae, and the fairy queen is like, you shouldn't. So that was fun in a way. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and start reading something soon. I guess I mean I finished the book just a few days ago. What am I reading? I'm reading something, or I can't remember if I. Oh yeah, I'm finishing the what is it called? The Witches Book of Shadows? No, you know the one that was a trilogy. And I'm gonna check. I'm not gonna take a break because we don't take breaks in. I don't want to cut this one, so you shouldn't. I'm checking Goodreads. I'm on Goodreads if anyone wants to be friends, on Goodreads. But it's the book that has a TV show as well. It's the Book of Life. That's the third one. It's the All Souls trilogy, and I'm finally finishing it by Deborah Harkness, because that was also a very heavy book, and I was like third quarter into the last book when I stopped reading it, about a few months, or last year. I think that was last year. So I was like, okay, I need to finish it because I want to finish it. I'm interested in the story. It's not like I wasn't, I didn't want to finish it. It's just I needed to take a break. And then after I was taking a break, I was just not interested in this story, because that's how I work. I know. But now I'm back into it, and I want to, finish it because I'm interested in again. And it's nothing, it's not the book's fault. It's just how my mind works. If I'm losing momentum with the story, then I need to find time or wait until that momentum or that pull comes back. Because if I'm trying to force it, then I'm not going to enjoy it, and then I finish it with the meh feeling. So what's the point? But now I'm back into that, and once I finish that one, I will start with another phase story, I think. And then we will see what's gonna happen. But so that's about books. And then the most fun part, new decks. I only filmed one walkthrough, so most of them are still in order, and I'm gonna show you a few cards, but I'm not gonna really look what I'm showing you, because I haven't filmed my walkthrough, and that's my first impression when I start working with a deck. So the first one was the Tarot of Abyss, which is a black and white deck, which I don't care. I like it, though I ordered some markers, and I will make a little series where I show you how I'm going to hopefully not ruin the deck, but color it. So I'm quite looking forward to that, as I'm being bold with this because, it's a mass market deck. So if I really screw it up, I can buy another one. But I'm really hoping I won't, because I really like the images, and I like the idea of having a deck where I bonded it with it in a more deeper ways, because I'll have the colors that I see when I look at them, because my mind just colors these up. So I'm quite curious how that is going to, turn out. So that was one that I was very happy that I got. It wasn't something that I wanted initially. I heard about other people talking about it, but I was like, it's not the Bone Stone and Earth Flash Bone. I think that's the name. I never know. Which was that really beautiful deck, but I want that mostly for the illustration. So I kind of, when I was initially interested in getting it, I was more of like, okay, I can't have that, then I'm going to have something. But when I did the walkthrough and I went through the cards, I just really liked what I saw, and I think it's going to be a very, very nice one for me, because I'm not saying that I didn't know that it's a deep deck, but knowing and actually experiencing and seeing that for yourself is always different. Another one that was a lovely gift from Jen, you know, Balance Tarot, right? Why am I always confused about your name? I'm so sorry. Which was, I mean, she finished the Tarot Play Date live series with a giveaway, and I won the Revival Art Tarot, and it was just so cool because when I saw, because there was 3 decks that you could win, and I saw that this was one of them, and it was the first edition, which was the one that I wanted because I like the backs. I like it more than the other one, and there were some paintings in it which I wanted to. You know, if I went through the decks, bought the comparisons, and yeah, sorry, I'm not looking at the cards. I know it's stupid, but I don't want to. So when I went through videos where the 2 were shown side by side, I think it Bonnie Old Mermaid's Tarot did one. I also Old Mermaid Soul. Ha! I don't know, but you know, there was a comparison video somewhere. I picked the first edition as the one that I would like to have, and when I saw it in a live that, oh, it's the first edition, I was like, oh, it's really cool, and I was thinking, okay, but if I won, which one I would go for if this wasn't available anymore, and there were other decks that I was considering, but I was like, but I would like to get this one, and then when my name was called, the deck was still available, so that was really cool because I'm not gonna say I never won anything because for some reason I'm lucky with tarot giveaways, which I take as a sign that the universe is approving my tarot reading and having tarot decks. So it's a bit of a reassurance that I'm on the right path. But that was also a relief. It was also why I wanted to do a giveaway for my channel anniversary, and I was so happy when Jax won the tarot, and she wanted the tarot of the abyss, and it's been shipped finally, so hopefully she will get it soon. By the time this goes up, hopefully she has the deck, or if she's not yet, then soon. Because even though I really like winning decks that I want, so I'm mindful. I never enter for everything. I just enter for decks that I would really like to have, because what's the point having decks around if I don't use them? But what did I wanted to say with this one? But anyway, so it was fun, running a giveaway and giving back a bit. So it was just fun. And then because I have nice friends, I got the Ethereal Vision, right? Yeah, Ethereal Visions tarot, which I was interested in getting, but I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get it because what if I don't like it? It's it's always those. But then a friend of mine offered me as a gift, and that just very generous, and I'm gonna make a rune set for her in exchange, which is even more cooler because I like making rune sets, so that's gonna be fun. Making. I will try to document the creating of the rune set as well because I think it's fun. But yeah, so this is the one with golden embellishment, and I think it's what is the art style? Art Nouveau. So yeah, it's an Art Nouveau deck, which I don't have any Art Nouveau decks. But I have absolutely no idea how we are gonna get along. I didn't really look at the cards because I don't want to cheat with before I manage to film the walkthrough. I want to do that soon. Oh, I hope it wasn't too blingy for you guys. But yeah, because the glare with this one is strong. But I really like the black backs. And guess what? Purple. Yeah, I like it. So I'm quite curious how I will, get along with this one. Hopefully, well, nice, because it's always extra special when you get a deck from someone else. And the second one that she offered, which I was quite happy because when she mentioned the deck name, I didn't remember that I wanted this and that I knew this, which one is this. But when I looked it up, I was like, that's a good one. And it was mentioned when I was looking for sci-fi decks, and it's the Neon Moon. And I opened the box, so sorry about the glare. By Pixel Code. And I didn't look into it. Just, I remembered back then that I liked the colors. Can you guys guess why? The pink and the magenta and the purple is really cool. And like I said, it's in order because I haven't filmed the walkthrough, but it's the pocket edition, so it's smaller than the one. And this is the artist who made the Lost Hollow tarot, which is high on my wish list. So yeah, it's a really cool one, and it's a steampunky, futuristic deck. So I have to, look into how it's going to work. I think I'm going to start to work during the winter with this one. And I checked the guidebook because the chords are renamed to apprentice, agent, supervisor, and executive. And I wanted to know when I was putting the deck in order, which one was which. And I started reading the story that the deck has, and that just seems so interesting. So it's always fun when there's a backstory for a deck, even if it's an RWS deck, so you don't have to read the guidebook. But when you get an extra layer on top of your own knowledge, because there's a story that the cards are telling, I really like that. I think that's a really cool thing. But yeah, so those are my new decks, and next month is going to be a lot of fun, hopefully. Like I said, the markers are gonna come at some point. I mean, it's already in the country, but yeah, I have to wait for the Hungarian post office, which is like fun. Not. But yeah, there's something else which is exciting, but I have to wait a bit before I can talk about it. But if I can, then within the few days of this posting, there's gonna be a new cool stuff on my channel. So if you're still watching, please check my channel or subscribe and like this video, and just come and hang by, because there's gonna be fun. Okay, I'm very proud and excited for it, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this whole thing. Hope it was, I don't know, entertaining or something. Maybe the new decks at least were something that worth a while and worth for your time, because I understand that a lot of people, doesn't have 40 minutes of stop watching. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely month. And yeah, see you a month later, or if you're, doing me that favor that you're interested in watching other videos, then you can find all the information down below where to find me for free readings and how to support this channel, because I set up a site where you can do so if you want to. But yeah, that's all, and have a lovely day, month, night, whatever when you're watching. Thanks so much. Bye.